Here's some information you need to know. A lot of people have been asking me, when do the various provisions in Trump's awful bill go into effect? I've got some charts for you and I'm going to talk you through them. Let's start with the healthcare provisions. First one will be the end of advanced premium tax credits. These are the Biden era tax credits that helped about 22 million more Americans afford their Affordable Care Act or ACA health insurance. After they're gone, because Republicans are choosing not to extend them, premiums should double or maybe even triple. And that's going to happen at the end of this year. Next, we have Medicaid imposing work requirements. This is the part that is going to bump about 11 million people off of their Medicaid. That goes into effect January 1st of 2027, right after the midterms. Okay, the cap on provider taxes for Medicaid expansion states. It sounds really wonky, but basically what it is shifting a whole bunch of the cost of Medicaid back onto the states, which means that a lot of states that can't afford it will simply drop coverage for people who are eligible. That comes October 1st, 2027. Oh yes, also after the midterms. Finally, new out-of-pocket costs charges up to $35 per service for adults on Medicaid who make between 100 and 138% of federal poverty level. That starts right before the presidential election. Now let's talk about food assistance. So the imposing work reporting requirements for SNAP, again, just designed to simply kick people off of the program, is going to effect right away. So now, in this part, states being forced to take on up to 15% of SNAP costs. This could literally end SNAP coverage in many states. It is prohibitively expensive for states. Goes into effect October 1st of 2027, so after the midterms. Okay, now, ending the clean energy incentives. This will be bad for our energy bills and the climate crisis, so they want to do it soon. Tax credit for purchasing new electric or hybrid cars. That goes away at the end of September of this year. Ending tax credits for used electric or hybrid cars. Goes away at the same time. Ending tax credits for energy efficient home improvements. That goes away December 31st of this year. And ending tax credits for residential clean energy projects, December 31st of 2025 as well. Now we'll talk about some tax changes. They continued the 2017 tax cuts, which disproportionately helped the richest people in the country. It's not on the chart because they just made those permanent. But the estate tax exemption expands from $10 million to $15 million because those mega rich people needed that tax-free extra $5 million. That is permanent. New no tax on tips, which is actually extremely narrow, that only runs from 2025 to 2028, and then it expires right after the presidential election. Same thing for the new $12,000 tax deduction on overtime compensation. That expires after 2028. The new $6,000 tax deduction for seniors, that also runs just from years 2025 to 2028. And the increase in SALT deduction cap, that only runs through 2029. There are two big takeaways here. One, Republicans made all of the tax cuts for rich people permanent and all of the tax cuts for working Americans very temporary. And two, the provisions they know you'll be most angry about, they've pushed till after important elections. Because for Republicans, it's never about helping Americans and it's always about the grift.